Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the
Why are we
flag.
sitting at the little one?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Karen?
Here.
Ms. Whitmer? Here. Mr. Roncone?
Here.
A motion to adopt the agenda. Roll call.
Karen?
Yes.
Whitmer? Yes. Roncone?
Yes.
All right, that leads us to the motion passes. That leads us to the superintendent's report with our wonderful
Oh, why, thank you.
Jason.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. I'll try to keep this fairly short. Mr. Mook wanted me to explain some things about the E-rate process and some of the things we plan on doing as far as network, wireless network, updates to the district and so forth. So I'll start with just a couple of things. Item number 20 on the agenda, there are three things that you'll be looking at this evening. The core, it's an annual contract with Access. Not many changes there. There's a voice over internet. That's our telephones and our voicemail service, and no changes really there. The third one is a wireless contract with Access. There are a number of schools in the area that have started moving towards using them as a vendor because we can take advantage of consortium pricing. We've looked at 3 different vendors. We've compared prices for a wireless solution for the middle school, high school campus. And really, it's not only the most reliable, most consistent in the area, it's actually the cheapest also. So it's nice when that works out. E-rate is a process. It's a program through the FCC. Annually, they have in the past given out $2.4 billion a year to schools, public libraries, and so forth. This past year, they upped the ante to an additional $1.5 billion. $1 billion of that earmarked just for infrastructure upgrades in schools and libraries and so forth. They realize a lot of what schools have is outdated. It's about the only way that we're going to get new. So that being said, the wireless access service contract is for 67 access points. It'll let us revamp what we have going on in the middle school and the high school. And it will also let us take some of those newer products, put them at the elementary school. Elementary is pretty solid, but it'll let us fill those voids where we have some pockets where internet's not so good. E-rate, we receive, if it's an eligible product or service, we receive 51% off right now based on free and reduced. So if we purchase something that qualifies and we fill out the 470 form ahead of time, which we have in this case, then we end up paying the entire amount and then we get reimbursed the other 51% in December of this year. So we realize that cost, but then we get a lot of it back. We're currently in year 2 of a 5-year cycle for E-rate. So after this year, we'll have 3 more years where we can take advantage of that program and upgrade infrastructure and so forth. So we're not buying everything that we need right now, but we're buying what we need to do the things that we need to do with our wireless network. Network security will be enhanced as a result of this. We'll be able to create some VLANs, which will mean our IP telephone traffic will be separate, kind of segmented off from our voice over internet, which will be separate from our land-based land-based traffic. We'll be able to separate public from students, separate students from teachers. Everyone can have different permissions and so forth, which will just be nice to be able to enhance our security that way. I know everyone in this room has probably at one point or another experienced wireless dropping off, internet and network connectivity issues. Lance could vouch for that on a daily basis. He believes it's just because Boone doesn't like him, but Boone will blame wireless. So anyway, this will help us take care of a lot of those issues. It also allows us to take advantage of our 3 fiber runs that we have in each closet. Right now we're using one of those fiber runs in each closet, which means if the main switch goes out, that entire closet's down. So we have a switch go out, half of a building in each of our situations would be down. Where if we run 3 fiber connections to each closet, we're taking advantage of those. We might have a sixth of a building down if we have a switch go out rather than half of the building, which is pretty nice. Some of the equipment we're replacing is original with the construction of the high school, so it's 16 years old. Other pieces are 10 years old, but it's all end of life as far as the vendor is concerned. Not eligible for a maintenance agreement and so forth. So our plan is to upgrade our wireless, upgrade the things that we need to as far as the network infrastructure is concerned, so that we can do the things that we take pride in doing. So that's pretty much it. Any questions?
So it'll fill in all the voids that we have in the school now for our wireless.
Absolutely. Each of the 3 vendors came out, did a site visit. We told them what our expectations are as far as Wi-Fi, which was pretty much, we don't want any dead areas, dead spots anywhere. They all were pretty consistent with how many access points we needed and so forth. So we feel pretty confident. And Joe Werkel, our county tech support, comparing this to what other districts are doing, they've had no downtime, no dead spots. If there is a dead spot, we buy one more access point to fill it. But managed solution makes it really nice as far as load balancing. Right now we have dummy access points that just send a signal out. With load balancing, we'll be able to have access points in classrooms, and it can realize that, okay, we only have 10 devices here, we have 25 over here, and it'll kind of even things out. So Tony's actually run some scans for us, and he told us what we already know with more detail. But yeah, we need some work with our wireless. So.
Great. Thanks, Jason.
Jason, when's the time frame?
This summer we'll implement.
So I figured.
Yeah, E-rate timeline, you fill out your 470, you know, within 30, 45 days you have to purchase.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then you have to purchase in between the 470 and the 471 filing.
I just actually opened it up, I just got through, so.
Okay,
It was one of the mail things that I got
okay.
tonight.
And the 471 gets filled out at the end of April. So we have to do purchases prior to the end of April. So. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Nutrition Inc., they're not here tonight, so we'll move on to our wonderful principals.
I'll go ahead and start with Dickson's principal's report. Under curriculum and professional development, this is in board share, by the way. Sorry. The school setup for roster verification will be completed this week. We're testing, so I kind of set it aside for now, but it'll be completed by the end of the week, with the next step being linkage for the staff to link to their children on the % of time that they have had them through the school year. And that's what generates our value added. ETPES, second round of observation data is being entered into ETPES. SLOs, the student learning objectives and the student growth measures. Meetings have started, however, we're not able to upload it into ETPES yet. I'm not sure when that'll be open. Mahoning County ESC has met several times with my leadership team to look at math resources. Currently, the math curriculum that we use is a 2009 edition, and that we're finding more and more gaps, especially as the learning standards and targets change. So they're looking at math resources. I met earlier in the year with Kathy to look at budgeting and did share that we are in need of some math resources. I will say they looked at and piloted this year 3 programs and chose the one that the middle school is currently using, so there'll be some nice alignment between K-6. Under student achievement, 3rd grade is finished with their spring state testing, and 4th grade will be finished at the end of this week. Kindergarten registration and screening begins tomorrow. So far we have 65 new students to register. Last year at this time we had 50 signed up. So it's growing. The 3rd graders who scored advanced in the fall will be tested for gifted by Mahoning County ESC at the end of the month. Diagnostic testing is currently in place. And the Terra Nova which is a vendor-approved assessment for third grade reading guarantee. Kids that in the fall tested in reading in third grade but did not get a promotion score to move on to fourth grade. They get to take this spring ELA, which they just took, which I'm sure they'll do very well, but it's just another chance to give them that promotion score, so I'll be administering that at the end of the month as well. Under Health and Wellness and Family and Community Outreach, our Barnes & Noble Family Literacy Night was very well attended. We made 20% of the sales for the whole evening and earned approximately $1,100 for preschool and multiple handicapped classrooms. The area preschools, imagine that, building blocks, Jerusalem Lutheran Preschool, they come and visit the kindergarten this month. Earth Day is the 22nd, and all of our first graders go out, and it's called Clean Up the Neighborhood, but they basically just do the school grounds, the library, and the First Christian Church. So they'll be doing that. Mrs. Moore, Jen Moore, has been running our Relay for Life this year, and it started with a movie night, and we were able to raise $200 using our big screen on our stage now to show a movie night, have a family movie night. And our children's sip and paint, Mrs. Zalanish will be running that this Friday night. We have 160 people signed up for that. Our Wear Purple mini relay will be held during the day. Miss Schiffauer will be running that. They'll be having a bake sale at the Spring Fling on May 13th, and the Relay for Life event is June 18th. And Dickson and Crestview have combined to form a team, and we'll be wearing purple, and we'll have a tent at the Grace Church in town. All the proceeds for that will go toward the American Cancer Society. These events, I explained to families, are optional. They're held at school, but they're actually sponsored by American Cancer Society. The father-daughter dance was well attended. There were 306 in attendance. It was awesome. I came and didn't even have a place to park because somebody parked in my spot, and that's okay. It was a fun night. Mrs. Helverstadt and Mrs. Melchione, huge thank you to them and all of their helpers for Family Literacy Night at Barnes & Noble. I'd like to thank PTO for their fundraiser, comedy night, and sponsoring our spring parties and the father-daughter dance. I do have in board share April and May newsletters and family calendars. The 18th annual Family Spring Fling is Friday, May 13th from 5 to 8. I put all of the class field trips and picnics there for you to see, and we have 2 musicals and programs coming up. The first grade is doing a mini musical, the Three Piggy Opera, and kindergarten is doing Welcome to the Jungle. We have an afternoon matinee and a family performance. The board's also invited. We have a 9:30 performance each of the days of the matinees for the school kids and teachers, but if you'd like to come to that, if you can't make it to the 2 o'clock or 7 o'clock, that's fine. What's that?
When is that?
We have April 27th and 28th is the Three Piggy Opera, and May 4th and 5th is Welcome to the Jungle. The first date would be the 2 o'clock, the second date the 7 o'clock on each one of those. And that's my principal's report. Thank you.
The Southside April Good News Report, which is also can be found in board share. Start off with the arts this time. The music department, select members from the Southside Middle School Choir attended the OMEA Solo and Ensemble in Alliance this past Saturday, and with several students receiving exceptional scores. The mixed ensemble of Emma Love, Sean Ripple, and Caleb Long received a rating of outstanding. The girls ensemble of Emily Hitchcock, Sarah Connor, Mackenzie Brooks, and Amanda Crum received a rating of good. Emily Hitchcock and Caleb Long received good ratings for their solos. Liz McGarry, Emma Love, Sarah Connor received outstanding ratings for their solos. And 8th grader Sean Ripple received a superior rating, the highest score possible for his solo. So congratulations to all the students, especially Sean, on the superior rating. Honor rolls out, and once again, always amazed by the numbers that are on the honor roll, especially the distinguished honor roll, which is either all A's or all A's and 1B. In 5th grade, we had 21 on the honor roll with 29 on the distinguished. 6th grade, we had 23 on the honor roll with 25 on the distinguished. 7th grade, we had 25 with 22 on the distinguished. In 8th grade, we had 19 on the honor roll and 16 on the distinguished. So once again, we're not the easiest school, and the students are still performing very well. NJHS induction, Southside Middle School held its NJHS induction ceremony Friday, April 8th in the auditorium. 24 students were inducted, with 17 being 7th graders and 7 being 8th graders. Reception was held in the cafeteria that was sponsored by NJHS following the induction for the new members, their families, and the guests. Special thanks to Mrs. Rob Carney and all the other staff members for their assistance in the selection process, as well as their help during the ceremony that day. In Clipper sports, Southside Middle School has begun their spring sports season with both track teams showing good numbers on the teams. The next home meet is April 27th versus South Range and Southern Local. And some important dates coming up. This Monday Southside Middle School begins its states testing. We're gearing up for that this week, getting ready for that. That'll be 3 weeks of testing. April 29th is the county middle school track meet at Crestview. And on May 7th, our Southside Middle School choir will be traveling to Kennywood for the day, where they're going to perform and have a day of relaxation as a reward for all their hard work throughout the year. Without repeating anything that Kim already mentioned, that's the Southside Middle School Good News Report.
Okay, high school report. School updates. We've updated our current emergency operations plan, and it's currently under review by local emergency responders. Testing's underway. We wanted to thank Amber Waller and all the teachers that have been administering the tests. It's quite a schedule, so they've done a great job. Students and community, we always around this time we want to thank Diva Donations. They're always able to donate prom clothes to some of our students who are in need of that, and they allow some students that wouldn't normally get to go to prom, they afford to go to that. Congratulations to Cassie Mead, Alexandria Marashki, and Sarah Nutter for their Heads Above the Rest awards. As you probably know, Heads Above the Rest is when a student scores in the top 10% on a national aptitude test. It'd be, I believe the ACT is a 30 and above. So congratulations to them. Also, Sarah Nutter was selected as a winner of the National Gypsum Scholarship Award. This was through the National Merit Foundation, and they qualify through that when they're juniors and take the PSAT. So we want to encourage as many juniors as we can to take that test. And congratulations to Cheyenne Carr, who was awarded the Eagle of the Cross Award by the Catholic Diocese of Youngstown. It's always good to see our students succeeding outside the school as well. Under athletics, our varsity baseball, although it's been cold and rainy, have managed to get 4 games in. They're currently 2-2 with a league record of 2-0. JV baseball is currently 2-2 as well. Varsity softball, they're currently 4-0, league record 2-0, and JV is 3-3. High school track, we're out competing right now, and Saturday we'll be at the Bulldog Invitational. Some upcoming events. The mock accident will be April 28th. We want to say a special thank you to Jeff Heaton. Heater does a great job of setting that up, and normally schools bus to a common site, and Heater sets it all up in town, has a helicopter. It's really good for the kids to see that. Heads Above the Rest will also be April 28th. And prom, April 29th, Grand March begins at 6 p.m. Well, that's we kind of planned that. And that concludes my report. Well, mine's also on board.
Thank you for sharing. All right, moving on. Some public input. Sir? Would that
No,
be-
sir. I'm just curious, that's all.
All right, good. Okay. Well, good. Then moving on to item number 8. We're in no need for an executive session at this point in time. So at this point, we'll move on to item number 9.
I move to consider approving the February 2016 and March 2016 financial reports.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call?
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 10.
To make a motion to consider approving the minutes of the February 9th, 2016 and the March 8th, 2016 regular meetings.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Item number 11.
I move to consider approving employment of the following personnel for the 15-16 school year as recommended by the superintendent with compensation in accordance with board-approved schedules and retroactive to the first day of work pending verification of all credentials. Substitute support staff Lindsay Blakeman and Sarah Smith.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Number 12.
I'd like to make a motion to consider approving employment of the following personnel as director, supervisor, or coach of the pupil activity program for the 2015-16 school year, as recommended by the superintendent with compensation in accordance with board-approved schedules, pending verification of all credentials. Outdoor education, Carla King, Dan Becker, and softball, Harold McHugh.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Item 13.
I move to consider approving employment of the following personnel on a supplemental contract for the 15-16 school year as recommended by the superintendent with compensation in accordance with board-approved schedules. Outdoor education, Ron Mosier, Sarah Ogrodnik, Emily Guarneri, and Jennifer Rogers. Saturday school, Charles Miller.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call?
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Item 14. Motion passes.
Item 14, I'd like to make a motion to consider approving the following personnel as a volunteer for a pupil activity program for the 2015-16 school year as recommended by the superintendent. Track, Andrew Morrow. Softball, Lauren Schluter.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Number 15.
I move to consider accepting the resignation of Jacqueline Casey Cusick, preschool aide, effective June 1st, 2016.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes.
Item 16, I'll make a motion to consider accepting the resignation of Linda Knox, head volleyball coach, effective March 17th, 2016.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item 17.
I move to consider approving employment of the following personnel as athletic department game help for 15-16 school year as recommended by the superintendent, compensation in accordance with board-approved schedules. Michael Keneally.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item 18.
I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of a negotiated master contract between the Columbiana Education Association and the Columbiana Exempted Village School District Board of Education, effective July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2019. Contract provided with the agenda.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item 19.
I move to consider approval of the negotiated master contract between the Columbiana Local Association of School Support and the Columbiana Exempted Village School District Board of Education, effective July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. Contract provided with this agenda.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Roll call.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 20.
I'd like to make a motion to consider approving access agreements for the fiscal year 2017. Voice over IP, wireless services, internet core services. The full agreement provided with the agenda.
I'll second it.
Discussion. And roll call.
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 21.
I move to consider approval of the Columbiana County Educational Service Center Services Agreement for fiscal year 2017, full agreement provided with this agenda.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Item number 22. Motion passes.
To make a motion to consider approving a memorandum of understanding with Youngstown State University College Credit Plus dual enrollment program services effective July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2017 per the document provided with the agenda.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 23.
I move to consider approving change in contract status from probationary to regular for the following personnel as recommended by the superintendent, effective April 16, 2016. Rhiannon Smith, Southside Middle School Day Custodian.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 24.
To make a motion to consider approving the Columbiana High School Program of Studies for the 2016-17 school year as provided with this agenda. Any additional revisions, additions and/or deletions may be provided or may be approved by the superintendent.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 25.
I move to consider approval of David Buzzard as superintendent pro tem for the 15-16 school year.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Whitmer?
Yes.
Ronco?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. On to 26.
To make a motion to consider second reading and approval of the following new policies, revisions, and replacements to board policy, which received a first reading at the March 8th, 2016 board meeting, as listed below. No, I'm not going to read all this.
I'll second it.
See the fastest I can talk.
Okay. Discussion. Roll call.
Ronco?
Yes.
Whitmer? Yes. Karen?
Yes. Motion passes. President's report. Pro tem. Our condolences as far as our school, the board, superintendent, and all go out to Michael Clark and his family. Unfortunately, he lost his father-in-law not too many days ago, and it's again our condolences and our sympathy is with that family tonight as they move through this time in their life. In addition to that, I had the opportunity to attend the comedy night at PTO, which was really good. So it was really fun. I had my doubts for a little bit there, but when it started, it was great. The people were wonderful.
How's the food?
It was everything was it was great. I mean, I ate, and it was just wonderful, and all the people getting together and the community getting together to raise money. It was just a great thing. And I think one of the biggest things that I see, in just hearing, just like Kim, 306 people signed up for an event. That's incredible. See, that's truly what a community should do. That's what it's about. because when people are involved in their schools and their children's lives, it makes a difference in the outcome of what happens with that student as they pass through our school and pass through life. And congratulations to all of that. It was just awesome. And also the honor roll at the middle school, all those students, and everything that happens in our schools, from the heads above the rest to everything that we're doing, the things that we're doing, the decisions we're making, and you folks as administrators, is great. And it feels good to be involved in such a great school and organization as such that we have. So congratulations to all those students. I can't remember them all by name, but that's a great thing. So, moving on, we'll look at number 28, which is OSBA Legislative Liaison Report.
No report.
No report. All right, and number 30, the Columbiana County Career Center Board Member Report. Mark is not here tonight. He had something scheduled, so there would be no report for that. Number 31, the date of the next board meeting shall be Tuesday, May the 10th, 2016, at 6 p.m. in the High School Media Center. Item number 32, consider an executive session in accordance with ORC 121.22 for the sole purpose of consideration of any of the following matters, and that would be employment, compensation, investigation of charges, complaints, and the last item would be matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or rules or state statutes.
I'll second that.
All right, discussion. And then we have a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Whitmer,
Yes.
Ronco.
Yes.
Motion passes. That puts us in executive session.